Hey everyone, let's do this. This is your friend Osha, and today we're gonna do is we are gonna try to answer the question: how fast can I beat this game with just a simple Corphish evolves into a Crawdaunt. So we started a game, named ourselves Osha, took out the free items, and then just got out of here. Yeah, got out of here to get a free starter for today. And the starter is gonna be Corphish. Yeah, and this is my first time ever using a Corphish. Even though my favorite game is Pokemon Emerald, cause it's just available in a very small location, that is the pools in the Petalburg city. And even then it is gotten by obtaining a super rod. So why would I bother to catch a water type who is at least 10 to 15 levels lower than my team? That too when I am about to end the game in just one gym. It doesn't make sense. That's why it wasn't used much by me at that point. So now I'm trying to use it, and I also named Mr. Crab because it's obviously a crab and not a dragon shrimp as people think. Okay, it starts to move Bubble. That could have been a problem for the rival but not for the Brock. So after training for some time, we reach Brock, who is obviously with Pokemon which are 4x weak to water type moves, and here even our very small powered Bubble is enough to one-shot the Geodude. Yeah, we had 2 levels lead over it, but what be thinking, Osha? You are trying to do it a speed run way, so then why the heck did you level up and waste your time in the Viridian Forest? The thing is that I have to defeat Misty after it as well, and before that I have to defeat the rival as well, so that is a very serious and big problem for me. And more surprisingly, this mofo can learn Rock Tomb. Yeah, so it gives me a way to beat flying types very easily, and fire types as well, which already beat the moves, but there's that, and ice types as well. So this could potentially give me uses in the rival fight against the Pidgeotto, and I don't one-shot it. And I have tested this run once as well, so this exact moment was the reason. That's why I had to level up as much, cause as you can see I barely survived by the skin of my teeth just to be demolished by a quick attack from Rattata. So just leveled up myself to level 24 in the Mount Moon and Mount Moon other stuff, and then just I just gave myself a rare candy to go to level 25, and knockoff is not the move over here, but thing is level 25 allows me to finally one shot the Pidgeotto with Rock Tomb. Now as you can see, the sand attack from the Pidgeotto and the powders from the Bulbasaur, both sleep powder as well as the poison powder, are a big cause of concern for me. Leech seed as well, more or less. So these things have always been a problem for all of the Pokemons, but Mr. Krabs has a unique solution for it, which we'll get to see very soon. Maybe even in today's footage only. So this, as you can see over here, if you are new to this stuff, that I play them over a series of days, because I have a fucking job to do as well, which consists of 8 hours of my day. And now having defeated the rival, we can just go on and finally cover up all the important stuff, such as taking the SSN ticket from Bill and saving him from the body of a Clefairy and possibly being assaulted for lack of better term. Yeah, and why do I think I remember that it showed us the evolutions at some point? Maybe I am having Mandela effect or some shit, but I can remember I could see the evolutions at this point here. Anyways, so now let's try to get to a second gym, Misty. And we are at level 30. Yeah, we are level 29 rather. And we are not evolved. This should be easy, right? Because of resistance to the water type attacks. But even through the resistance, Starmie does a solid damage to us. And more so, she has super potions while we don't. So even though it's a battle of chip and chip, we are obviously gonna lose, especially since we are confused. And at level 12 and level 29, even at level 29 being 8 to 9 levels higher than it, I still had to rely on luck, that was some being hit myself in confusion, to win this battle. And she gives me Water Pulse, other team that I can learn, but Word Beam suffices me for this point. So let's go to beat a rival at SS Anne. So this Pokemon feels like it has to train a lot, that over levels, it cruises through the game, so it has a kind of ups and downs. Most mons usually have downs or only ups, but it has a sine wave type of curve, if you know what I mean. And this Ivysaur just slept me, and it is 10 levels lower than me. Leech Seed, okay, cool. Now just let's see the damage of Vine Whip. It's 10 levels lower than me and still has the audacity to almost take my life with a single Vine Whip. So I have nothing left to do else to train. And while training, I got this super amazing move that will give me riddance from all of the worries that most of the Pokemon have to face when facing a run in Fire Red. That is Taunt. Now Taunt isn't as amazing as the current day because it works only 2 turns in this generation, including the turn it was used on, so you must outspeed to get its full effect. But still, Taunt shuts down any non-attacking moves. And what is the most horrible attack move that you ask? Sand Attack, of course, which it can't use for me, and hence my Rock Tomb isn't that inaccurate. And with Taunt, it cannot make me sleep. Once again, a very amazing move for most situations. Yeah, I am 10 levels higher and still struggling, that's why I had to grind up so much. And yeah, it technically was level 30, but I chose to avoid the evolution just cause it will learn Crabhammer earlier that way at level 34. Now Cadabra this is the last time that it can do damage to me in this whole run, because once I evolve I will get a dark typing, and none of the Cadabra's moves ever on the rivals team have any chance of giving me a single HP of damage. So I take a cut and get out of here and move straight away to a friend, that is Lieutenant Surge Gym. A water type that is unevolved could surely face problems here, right? So that's why I just level up just enough, that is just enough French Kiss to get Crabhammer, a almost signature move of Kingler and Crawdaunt lines, which Corphish usually learns 4 levels earlier than Crawdaunt. That's why I chose to delay its evolution till this point. And I guess if I had a Crawdaunt at that fight in the SSN, I could have easily won without use of Taunt, but there's that. That also means I get Taunt earlier, so that was also a minor benefit. So now finally, the Crawdaunt in hand, let's try to see what does Lieutenant Surge have in store for us. Can he cause me any problems? Voltorb? Nah. Crit? Done. Pikachu? Crit? No, not even a crit. Done. Raichu, can survive my hits? Let us see. Crabhammer? Done. So that was as easy as eating cupcakes. See? So with this, our day 1 has come to an end. So now let us see what does day 2 have in store for us. We finally get the bike as well for speedy travels. This was day 1. It involved a lot of grinding, but was overall very easy once I got the results. So let us see, will day 2 make me breeze through the game or make me have to grind even more? So now let us see what does day 2 have in store for us in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So a day 2 basically starts with Team Rocket Hideout, and at almost 4 hours of in-game time with 3 gyms, with 3 gym badges, we are here to beat the heck out of Giovanni from his Team Rocket Hideout, and obviously has a teams of mostly made up of rock types and normal types. The rocks are nothing problem for me with the move, and Kangaskhan could pose an issue. Yeah, the sucker Mega Punch is doing a good damage, but Crabhammer is even better. Yeah, just choose to ignore I'm over leveled as heck for this. I get the Silph Scope, and that means I have to go and kill and avenge the murder of the rival's Raticate once again, who was killed by none other than my Corphish only. Taunt, nice to prevent any sand attack shenanigans, but Rock Tomb was a 1 hit already, so there's that. Taunt once again, so no sleep powder. Man, I really missed out on so much easier time in my earlier runs if I'd just chosen to run Taunt. Cause yeah, generally I don't have free move slot available, but Taunt makes the grind so less. Cause let us say if I were to be slept by this and I had to survive 2 of the grass type attacks, then obviously this level would have been enough for me, but Taunt makes it much easier. So now after getting all of that stuff, I must rescue Mr. Fuji, who gives me the Poke Flute. And with Poke Flute, I once just go down from there to get a special TM. A TM that there are a lot of Pokemon which have good physical stats but no physical tab in Gen 3 use, that is Return. And I also got the item finder from the Versus Oak's aid because I've caught on 34 Pokemon. Yeah, you can catch Pokemon, but you cannot use them in battle. That's the rule. So there's that. So now let's just, use item finder to get leftovers. Like, yeah, there isn't a much competition for good items in Gen 3, so leftovers works for everybody. So now let's just move to Self Scope. Not Self Scope, the Self Tower, to just defeat a rival at 4 hours and 42 minutes. We still have 3 gyms, but we have covered a lot of game. And in this, with just in this span, we are facing the rival twice and even Giovanni twice. So Taunt was able to shut it down. Wing attacks have taken a lot of toll on my health. Level 44. That's okay. Venusaur is 4 levels lower than me and Razor Leaf miss. That's lucky. And it still deals a good ton of damage. So basically the thing is that Vice Grip just doesn't cut it out as my source of physical offense. So I have to replace it with Return. Return at this point with full happiness, obviously because it's about level 50 now, is a 102 base power move, effectively doubling the power of my normal attacks. And technically on a resisted hit, or rather even a super effective hit, it's just slightly more powerful than Rock Tomb, essentially declining its usage. I could have used Taunt over here. I'm lucky to it didn't hit. And this is the damage of a Razor Leaf. As you can see, it was obviously able to two-shot him very easily. And now we have an ability called Hyper Cutter on Mr. Krabs. The thing here is Hyper Cutter is generally a useless ability because it prevents any attack reduction. But in Fire Red, when a rival will at least have at least one Pokemon that is able to reduce your attack, and to include the Fire Dance from Pidgeotto, at least 2 and at maximum 3, this becomes a godsend for a mix or physical attacker, as in this case Mr. Krabs. So even a useless ability and a rare move come together to give Mr. Krabs a fighting chance in this game. And speaking of rarity, Dark types are rare. And guess who can attack Dark types? Psychic types. And since we're in the town, let's defeat Sabrina for an easy 4th badge. Like, yeah, we have done so much in the span of 1 badge only. Such is the ability of Fire Red. It doesn't give priority to badges. You can cover the story in any way that you want. The badge will just, follow you automatically, more or less. So yeah, 2 returns done. I guess in this team, only Venomoth was the only Pokemon that could do any meaningful damage to this mon. Yeah, Mr. M has double slap, I guess. But anyways, who cares? 4 returns, 4 shot, done. Just give me the badge and I can raise my counter from 3 badges to 4 badges. But since I have saved up my money all through the game, I now have just enough money to buy a very useful TM that every water type can get, and it is very useful for me, and that TM is none other than the amazing TM known as TM number 13, that is Ice Beam. Yes, at this level I can now easily defeat Erica with return only, but since I'm in town, might as well get the TM, and might as well give it to my Bon. I don't have any, Crawdaunt for move slots as well, and as I told you earlier, Rock Tomb has outdone its usefulness. So now Ice Beam has become my slayer for flying and grass type mons. So now let's get Erica, and at 5 hours we are getting our 5th badge. So 1 gem badge per hour is not that bad. So I guess it will finish the game in around 8 to 9 hours. That's really good. Considering that we have only 1 mon that has got less than 1 hour, that's Azumarill at 7:30. Yeah, I have done this with other mons as well, so if you really want to watch, you can watch them. And with this 3 Ice Beams, I'm done with this run. I'm done with Erica, and rather done with day 2 as well. So day 2 saw us cover a lot of stuff in a lot of little time, and really catching up the speed that I was saying in the sine wave. But with every climb comes a downfall. The downfall occur on day 3. So now let's look at changes for day 3 in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, day 3 starts with us introducing to our 6th gym for the day, that is Koga. Yes, I know I have been running through the game at this point, but thing is that my mon is just so over leveled because it had to be over leveled for the earlier fights in the game. And then just I carried with it, and it's not that over leveled at this point, just 8 levels higher. And yeah, Taunt could have helped you over here with the Muck, but Minimize didn't cause me any issues. This Coughing is a one shot return anyways. Then we have last, the Wheezing, and it has a much higher physical defense. I chose Crab Hammer, it's a 2-shot, return, and return does half damage. Let me use the accuracy of return over the the damage of Crab Hammer, and GG, level 49, and done. So with this I have 6 badges now. 6 badges, and this means let's get out of here and get to an obvious badge for a water type, that is the Fire badge of Blaine. So 6 hours and 7 badges. We are just racing through this game. 6 hours and 1 minute, we are at gym number 7. So here we have Crab Hammer 1, Crab is done. Yeah, Crab Hammer is special in this gen, even though we are hitting with a hammer, which is a physical activity, because Gen 3 has physical special split based on types and not on moves. And Hypercutter is just a very good ability for this game only. And Arcanine has enough damage to actually threaten defeat to me at 4 HP, even though it's level only. And now, as you just saw, as I said in the 2-3 minutes back, with every climb comes a down. Because Arcanine gave me a hint of that down, that I could face problems in the future cause my level lead is getting diminished at this very instant. So now, as you can see, in just 8 minutes I have gotten 3 badges. Yeah, 8 minutes of in-game time. I play this on 3 to 4x, so it's more like the 2 minutes of real life time. I went straight up from gym number 5 to gym number 8. Wasn't that great? Right, so now I have to give Crunch. And after a long inspection, I realized Return and Taunt are important, and so is Ice Beam. Yeah, I could have replaced Taunt called a TM as well, but I guess I don't need water moves per se, cause grass types can be defeated by the ice type as well. So all the things that could be defeated by water could be defeated by ice as well. So I just chose to give it the Dark Stab instead of the Water Stab, cause Dark is a much rarer stab and therefore has much more uses. Anyways, it was a 5-shot sweep, so yeah, what else? Just be done with it. And level 51, I have defeated the 8 badges of this game, and I really hope that rival fight will get defeated very easily as well. And let us see if I can finish the record time or not, cause at 6 hour time it for the 8 badges. I have almost 1 hour and 15 minutes to defeat the time for Azumarill, who is the best Pokemon for my runs so far. And yes, I will have a tier list for this game as well, for all the runs in the end, so don't skip the end of this video, okay? And now here's the time for rival fight. Please be obedient and don't cause me any problems. So for safety, let's start with Ice Beam. Hope it's a one shot, and it's not, cause Crawdaunt has a special attack of base 90 and a physical attack of base 120. Venusaur is outspeeding me, and I've taunted it. So Razor Leaf is a guaranteed one shot on me. So this is a problem. So now I have to overspeed this speed demon and used my favorite site, Smongon Damage Calculator, to calculate the stats of Venusaur at this point. Yes, I am actually a brainy guy with a not a maths degree and engineering degree per se, but it includes a high level maths. So just use high level maths to do basic algebra. When you input the values of Venusaur, then put its level here, that is level 53. As you can see, it's base 80, I am base speed of 55. So I actually need to over level it even with the badge boost. So at the level of 53, it has a speed of 106. So divide it by 1.1, I have to be at least with a speed of 98 to outspeed it. And I trained so much for it. I had got enough money to buy a secondary team from Game Corner, that is Shadow Ball, that I could maybe need for Agatha if those ghosts are very good for special defense and catch a special move. Just I had the money, just bought it, and now I can outspeed both Pidgeot as well as Venusaur, and I get a lucky freeze. And with this level of investment, I can survive one Razor Leaf, so don't think that's an issue. The freeze wasn't necessary, but just with time saver. Ice Beam is a one shot on Rhyhorn, so there's that. Gyarados, thank you Hypercutter for no stat reductions. Crunch is a very good 2-shot on it. And once again we have Growlithe. Now Water Move could have been useful over here, but since my attack isn't reduced to shit by the 2 intimidates, can easily one shot with Return, and Lakazam is just a free monkey, a free way to get a easy win. So Return is used, GG, and now I can just move on and cover the victory road and get some levels over there as well. And now move on to get to see the Elite Four, starting with Lorelei. Yeah, it learns Brick Break as well for the ice types if I so need it, but I don't think I would need them because Return is very good damage anyways. You know, I just try to not use TMs until it is super required because you know I want to save my resources. Now, if an example of very good team usage is my Masquerade run, it's one of my favorites. Please go have a look at it. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. It's one of my best runs. And ironically, the run with the least views as well. That mon is a shit ton of surprises, please let me tell you that. So a crunch is an almost one shot on it even when I am having a 10 levels lead. So that's a bad thing. Okay. Crunch is a range actually. So even after leveling up this much, I don't have easy wins, and Taunt allows me to just get water moves from it. Surf is like doing peanuts to me at this point, especially with what's left over is recovery. No hyper potions, that's nice, and we finally get to Jinx. I guess who will get one shot by both Return or Crunch. Okay, not with Crunch, it's a near one shot, Ice Punch, no freezes, that's good. Like yeah, I would be more concerned with Sleep at this point. Return is a one shot cause Jinx has very shitty defense, and I guess I will try Jinx for my next run as well. It's a very interesting Pokemon. Ice and Psychic, a great good combo. So Taunt for Confuser shenanigans, that's nice. Return is not a one shot, it's a 3 shot rather, but it is very good cause it has a Citrus Berry as well. And yeah, I thought of stealing the Citrus Berry, but ironically Corphish and Crawdaunt don't learn Thief. Yeah, and at 8 hours I am at Bruno. So due to the training that I had to do to defeat the rivals Venusaur, I just lost the time to be the best Pokemon, but I can always be the second best Pokemon, right? So now Ice Beam, Onix is done. Oh shit, I'm a dark type. Bruno has fighting mons. He will kill me for breakfast. Okay, lowered speed. Whatever. It's still a 2 shot now. Return is a 1 shot or 2 shot. A crit, that's lucky. So let's see Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is faster than Hitmonchan and I have a -1 speed. So it can easily one shot, not one shot per se. It can easily, oh, Return is done. So now Machamp, yeah. If I defeat it, I'm cross chop. Nice. So now either I could train or just use my rare candies. So over the run, I had included 10 rare candies through the game as well as some given to my Meowth that I always catch every game. So I use them all at once cause you know I'm going for speed. Yeah, I could have done this with 5 candies instead of 10. But there's that. I wanted efficiency because I was already late for this video. Like if I'm posting this video on Saturday, this is being played on Friday night. So I have just less than 12 hours to make this complete and edit it and then record it so that it can be given to you audience. And you guys still don't give me views. I work so hard for you. I'm sad. SED, sad life. SEDLYF. So anyways, the cross chop wasn't here, but I could survive one. I have very good physical defense if I'm not wrong, cause obviously crabs have good physical defenses. So Bruno is done. Now you must be thinking, yeah, after so much overleveling, you must be doing a very easy Elite Four. Trust me bruh, that's not the case. Yeah, the Gengar is a one shot with Crunch. Golbat is a one shot with Ice Beam. Yeah, finally. And then we have Arbok, Hypercutter to prevent intermittent reaction. I just love Hypercutter at this point, man. Sludge Bomb, please don't poison me. Please, 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 that's a humble request. And I can't even one-shot Arbok, which is like 15 levels lower than me. So the over-leveling was kind of necessary for this point rather than a luxury at this point. Level 58 Gengar, I can outspeed it. Taunt to prevent hypnosis. Yes. If I have the ability to shut down their best tactics, I will use it to shut down their best tactics. That's just me for you. And then finally Haunter, who has no chance of surviving a crunch, so there's that, GG. Yeah, if I had come at a lower level, then I could have replaced Crunch with Shadow Ball. But yeah, I didn't even need it because I was just, so heck bent on using my hard-earned rare candies for this run. So Lance has 3 dragon types and Aerodactyl. So only the Gyarados is actually the one that could somewhat, slow my way to champion. Not even defeat, just slow my way to champion. And everything else just, a thing to be killed by Ice Beam. Dragonair 1, Ice Beam. Dragonair 2, let us see, same level, so almost same stats. Ice Beam, done. And then we have Dragonite, 4 XP to Ice Beam. It would survive? I don't think so. Ice Beam, GG. And lastly we have Aerodactyl, who is theoretically weak to my water type, but it has no type moves, but still Ice Beam works just fine enough to give me a one shot and make mockery of the supposed former champion of Elite 4. And now we are at level 72. Mr. Krabs is ready to take on the last battle of the league, that is the champion, bruh. Yeah, I named him bruh. Deal with it. I didn't find any creative names for it. If you want to look for creative names, I named my Mr. Mime as Dr. Joe Kerr. The Batman version name of Joker. So there's that. And this Pidgeot is still not a one shot with Ice Beam. Oh, it's a range actually, even at this level. So you see, I needed those extra levels. I can use Taunt to prevent any shenanigans, but Ice Beam is just better. Growth, special attack increase, that's nice. I could survive one attack very easily at this level, I know. But let's just take the luck and be done with it. Alakazam, just a free bait, but this Reflect kills my damage on return, so that's bad. Rhydon, ride on these nuts. Ice Beam. So yeah, damage done. Gyarados, and now I could just play it with Crunch as well as Return. Both are good options. Return is doing not good damage because of the Reflect. I forgot it at that point. Reflect was up, but Crunch is serviceable enough to give me an easy 3-shot on this thing. And then lastly we have Arcanine, the Soul Warrior that could take the defeat from his trainer and give me defeat from instead. Return is a very good 2-shot, but even then Flame Over threatens to kill me. Like if he had just one turn more, or if the user had attacked me, I could have easily lost this fight and live at this level. But however, that was not the case, so I easily won this fight. And let us see what's my time for this run. Yeah, it's not best, but it's very good timing. So let us see the timing. The timing here for this run is, the same turn of the power. Welcome to Hall of Fame. It's 8 hours and 25 minutes. So I guess that's a very good time for this run, considering my best is 7 hours and 32 minutes with Azumarill. So there's that. So now let us see how does that stack up on my tier list. So I have a tier list for all of my runs, 6 at this point. So now let's start a tier list with the Poke God, that is Azumarill. Because this is my fastest run so far, and with the only run with a time of less than 8 hours. Then we have the A tier, which is basically the tier with the timing for 8 to 9 hours. And this one includes the Kaiju. And this one includes the Kaiju, that is Nidoking, the time of 8 hours and 12 minutes. Nidoking also had to, level up at the very end of the run, but otherwise it had a very solid run overall. And if I were to retry it, I could easily make it to Pokegot as well. Then we have the 9 to 10 hour status with Masquerain with 9 hours and 54 minutes and Mr. Mime at 10 hours and 4 minutes, so it's more like 10 to 10.5. And then we have the second last tier, that is the 10.5 to 12 hours, where we have Executor that was raised from my Execute, the time of 11 hours and 4 minutes, and last with 12 plus hours is none over there. So with 8 hours and 25 minutes, the Crawdaunt comfortably sits in, I guess, with 8 hours and 25 minutes, I can see Crawdaunt in the A tier very nicely. Until this point I have done 2 Hoenn Pokemon and 2 Jotanian Pokemon and 1 Johto Pokemon. So let us see how does Mr. Jinx fall on this tier list, and do you like these runs? If so, please tell me so in the comment box. Comment all you want. subscribe the channel. Goodbye everyone. See ya.